Shalom everybody, this is the Jewish Bible Man. Hope everybody is doing well on this beautiful Sunday evening. Today I want to address if you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you got a question, write it in, email me, whatever you like, I'd be glad to address it. But I want to address an issue today that has come up a lot. Can a person lose their salvation, or can a person not lose their salvation? And I'm not going to attempt to address any of those today. I'm going to be doing a few posts so that everything kind of ties in together without it being too long. But today I'm just going to take you just for a second into a classroom environment, and I'm just going to introduce you to the terms. Once you understand the terms, the next post will be easier to understand. So basically the terms are like this. One camp believes you can lose your salvation. That camp is called the Arminian Wesleyan perspective. They believe that you choose God and you can unchoose God. That is very consistent with that view. That is called the Arminian Wesleyan perspective, that a person can lose their salvation because they choose God. The next view is called the Reformed view, or sometimes referred to as the doctrines of grace. That view teaches that God has predestined people for salvation. In other words, He's not saving everybody. He predestines people that He chooses for salvation. He graciously chooses people for salvation. It's not based on works. That's why sometimes the term unconditional election is in view. And that teaches that God has predestined people for salvation. They do choose, right? That they respond to God, they say. And it's not apart from your will, but it's coinciding with your will. But they believe that predestination is what God has chosen to do. And because He predestined you, you cannot lose your salvation, because God did the choosing and God does the keeping. And that's called the Reformed view, or doctrines of grace view. The view that Arminian Wesleyan view is you do the choosing, you can do the unchoosing. The Reformed view is God does the electing, God does the keeping. So those are the two views that historically have been in the church and did not disagree and continue not to disagree. However, there's a third view that has creeped into the church. It's a very new view, relatively new. It's not an historical view. It's certainly not what I would view as let me put it this way. This view, the Reformed person would find wrong, and certainly the Wesleyan would find wrong as well. This view teaches that you choose God, same as the Arminian view. But you cannot lose your salvation. So they have created a view that mixes the two views. Neither one of the camps on top would agree with this view. And then you have different terms that are used, right? So I'm going to tell you what those terms are. Lordship salvation, meaning that God is your Lord, and therefore you are becoming conformed to His image, and you are becoming holier and holier all the time, and being separated from your sin, not perfectly, but eventually you're just progressively becoming more holy. You have a hatred for sin, you become more holy, and you're walking with God, and you begin to get closer and closer to God through your obedient walk. That is really the desire of your heart. That would be Lordship salvation. Non-Lordship salvation is a view that says that you are saved, but nothing in your life shows it. And then that would be the view of the third, the hybrid view, where they believe that you choose and they believe you're eternally secure. They believe essentially no Lordship salvation. And then you have terms like sanctification, which means God has separated you, right, from the world, right? And then you have views like progressive sanctification. After you're saved, you continue to grow. All three views agree with both of those. However, progressive sanctification is viewed as optional. Now that we've kind of have our terms down, it's going to be easier in my next post to go ahead and just kind of deal with one, then deal with the other, then deal with the other, and you'll have a good view with you'll have a view and understanding of what I'm trying to say. So if you have any questions about that, I want you to ask them. I want to address it. I want you to make sure you are watching this before you watch the next one. And even on my next one, I'm going to say, if you haven't seen my first one, stop watching and go to the first one, because they're all going to build on each other. And I don't know how many of these I'm going to have, but there's going to be at least 3 to 4 of these more. So I don't know how many yet. We'll see how things go. I don't want them to be too long, so I just want to kind of address it so you're able to grasp it. And then I'm going to eventually, what I'm going to do after I'm done explaining it, I'm going to try to open up the scripture to kind of expand on what the scripture actually says. So I hope everybody's having a great night. Please feel free to subscribe. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, but just be sure to let me know that you've watched this. Let me know if you have any questions. I don't want to confuse you, and I don't want to make anybody upset who believe this or believe that. I just want to, first, I want everyone to understand the view, because my experience so far is the people that don't believe in once saved, always saved are really not having such a problem with that as much as they're having a problem with lordship salvation. That has become, I think, the big problem. The reason they're so against it is because they say, look, you're saved, how could you not be holy, right? And so when someone says I can be saved and not holy, all the red flags go up, and rightfully so. And they go up in both camps, by the way. So with that said, Lehi Ta'ot, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.